Don't forget to check out the Acquire English page on YouTube, and please like our page on Facebook as well. And don't forget, we have courses on Udemy and Skillshare. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 20 of Acquire English Live. My name is Adam. I'm an English teacher from the US. I'm here as always with Tuan, an English teacher from the UK. Tuan, you doing okay today?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you.
Yeah. Have you been keeping yourself busy recently? What have you been doing recently?
Played a bit of futsal, watching a lot of football, bit of reading, watching TV.
Nice.
A little bit, yeah.
Have you, I mean, since I've known you, you've played futsal or played soccer. How long have you been playing?
Probably since I was, well, seriously, maybe since I was 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't very good at school. So after
school playing.
I
see. Well, but you started before you were 18 though, right? What did you do, like elementary school time? Did you play it all then?
We kind of played, but I wasn't really into it. I was a really small kid.
Okay.
So,
I see.
Yeah, I started a little late. Yourself? Did you play any sports?
Yeah, I started playing sports a lot when I was younger. I actually played, the first sport I probably played was soccer. So same, but maybe when you started playing, I kind of quit playing. I played through elementary school, junior high, and then in high school, I had to choose between track and soccer. They're at the same time. You couldn't do both sports. So same time of year. So I used to be fast. So I chose track over soccer. I regret it now. I think I should have played soccer. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. And I played baseball a lot when I was younger as well. But yeah, as I got older, I kind of quit more sports. And from junior high, I played a lot of basketball. It's probably the main sport there. But these days, nothing.
Do you watch a lot of baseball?
I watch a ton of baseball, too much baseball. So not right now. It's not baseball season right now. But yeah, I've been watching baseball for as long as I can remember. I know I would watch it with my dad whenever it was on TV. And, you know, growing up, I think we didn't have many channels. I probably had, I don't know, 4 or 5 channels when I was a young kid. And one of those often had baseball games on it. So a couple of them actually. So just the free channels. So I remember that was the only thing I really looked forward to was cartoons and baseball.
How old do you think you were when you started watching?
I was 4, maybe 3.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I mean, it was just on the TV and my dad was watching. So I'm sure I started watching then. And my dad taught me how to kind of read the scores in the newspaper. So every day I would get the newspaper and read the baseball scores and then check out some games. I think I really started liking baseball when I was 6. But I know I watched it before there. Yeah. So, and now these days, I watch it about every day in the summer when it's on.
Okay.
A bit of an addiction. So yeah, I've been watching baseball for a while. It's
how about the Japanese baseball?
I would watch it more. I mean, it's good. Okay. Japanese teams are good. It's just, especially with the family now, there's only so much time, right? So I can't really pay attention to both leagues and, you know, pay attention to my children and my wife as well. So that, you know, that's what happens. Okay. But I used to watch it a lot more. I used to go to some games here, but I haven't been in a few years. So we'll see. Hopefully I can take my son to a game this summer, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, in today's conversation, Tuan and I meet up on the street and we are talking about some things that we do. So let's check out today's conversation. Hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good. What are you up to today?
I'm on my way to yoga class.
Really? How long have you done yoga?
I've been doing yoga since high school. Have you ever tried?
No, I haven't.
You should come along sometime.
That would be great. Thanks.
Okay, and let's go ahead and break down that conversation there. So the first line here, so again, Tuan and I were walking down the street and we meet. And the first line I said, hey, how are you doing? Just means, hi, how are you? So are you good, sad, happy, whatever, angry, how are you? And the next line, Tuan says,
Pretty good. What are you up to today?
right, pretty good. What are you up to today? Just means I'm fine. So pretty good just means just a normal expression. I'm good, I'm fine. And what are you up to today? So we have be up to, just means what are you doing today? So a very sort of casual way to ask someone what they're doing. What are you up to? Anything to add there, Tuan?
What are you up to? Yeah, very, very casual. Yeah, pretty good is also another expression that we would, I don't know, pretty sometimes confuses some students, I think, I find.
Yeah.
Means I'm kind of good or not too bad.
Right.
Not so strong.
Yeah. Basically, I think of it same as it's I'm fine. Right. So it's kind of just, it's just something you say that's just everything's okay. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. Sort of situation. I think people want to say that pretty good is higher than I'm fine or something. I think people think about the response too much there. It just means everything's okay. Don't worry. Okay. And the next line here, I say, I'm on my way to yoga class. So it just means I'm going to yoga class. So this be on your way. I'm on my way. Just a good, I'm in the middle of going to yoga class, right? I'm going to yoga class. Good expression to use there, on my way. In the next line.
Really? How long have you done yoga?
Yeah, so really, how long have you done yoga? Wow, I didn't know you did yoga. When did you start? So this really, how long have you done yoga? There's no meaning there. There's nothing written there that says, I didn't know you did yoga, but that's really what this means, right? So Tuan's surprised that I do yoga. So how long have you done yoga just means, when did you start? That makes sense there. And the next line, I've been doing yoga since high school. So as you can see in the picture, I do yoga now. In the back, you can see me with hair. Yes, I used to have hair. And in high school, so from high school to now, so I started doing yoga in high school and I still do yoga now. So we can say I've been doing yoga since high school. Okay. Tuan, have you ever seen a picture of me with hair?
I don't think I have.
No, probably not. I think I've been bald since we've known each other. So you don't need to. It wasn't very nice hair. I didn't particularly like it ever. So anyway, next line. Have you ever tried? So do you have any experience with yoga? So I'm asking, at any time in your life, have you done yoga? Even one time, have you done yoga? Okay. And Tuan's answer is?
No, I haven't.
So no, I've never done yoga, right? Easy enough. The next line here, you should come along sometime. So go with me to yoga class, right? So come with me to class sometime, okay? And notice this sometime. Be careful with sometime and sometimes, right? With an S on the end. Sometimes means, or sometime with no S means just one time in the future, right? Sometimes we talk about with habits and routines, right? So I sometimes drink tea, something like that. Is that okay? But in this case, I'm inviting Tuan to come along. So come with me to class sometime. And Tuan says,
that would be great. Thanks.
right, that would be great. Thanks. So thank you for inviting me. Maybe I'll go. So this is also a tricky one. That would be great. So this would is often difficult to understand and difficult to explain, but it's basically an if situation. So if I were to go with you to yoga class, it would be great. But we don't need to think about it too much. It just means kind of sounds good. Thank you. Like, sounds good. Maybe I will go with you. So if you are at a restaurant and the waiter or waitress says, would you like some more water? You can say, oh, that would be great. Thanks. It's another common usage of that. Is there any other way you can think to use that would be great, Tuan?
I think you covered it. Yeah. So it's not necessarily, you're not saying yes. You're just thanking them and just gives the possibility.
Right. So in this situation, yeah, that's why we put maybe down here, right? There's no 100% yes, I will. If it's a situation that's definitely going to happen, 100% going to happen, in that case, we would say that will be great, right? Which is fairly uncommon to say. I would say that would be great is pretty common to say in many situations. But basically, we're just saying thank you. Okay, so let's get into today's grammar point. So we're talking about the present perfect tense, and specifically, how long have you done something, right? So how long have you done? And I've been doing since and for. So in the conversation we had, how long have you done yoga? So again, that was from the start until now, how much time has passed? You started doing yoga, you still do yoga now, how much time has passed? And then my answer was, I've been doing yoga since high school. So I started in high school and I still do yoga now. Now that doesn't explain how much time has passed, but when we use since, we're saying the start time, right? And we say, when we use for, we're using the amount of time. So if I said, I've been doing yoga since high school, so I went to high school a long time ago, let's say 22 years. Was that when I was in high school? So I've been doing yoga for 22 years, right? 22 years ago, I started when I was in high school. So I've been doing yoga since high school. I've been doing yoga for 22 years. Hopefully that makes sense there. And we'll get into it a bit more. So let's take another step here, because we have a couple different ways to say this. So in the conversation, we said, I've been doing yoga since high school again. But we also have, I have done yoga. So the meanings of these sentences change when we add the since or the for. So with a sentence just saying, I have done yoga, it just means at least one experience with yoga. Between when I was born and right this second, I've done yoga. That means one time in my life or more. Now, when we add since or for, these two sentences have the same meaning. So if I said, I have done yoga since high school, or I have been doing yoga since high school, those are 100% the same meaning. Maybe a tiny nuance there that we don't need to talk too much about. But I have done yoga for 22 years. I have been doing yoga for 22 years. Again, the same meaning. Did I explain that okay, Tuan? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Just be careful with the since is like if you imagine a point of time. So yeah, since you could be a date. So yeah, since 2010,
Right.
or sometimes confusing ones like since last week or since last Monday.
Right.
But to think of the time, and yeah, the 4 is the period or amount. So like you said, like for 5 years or for 2 months.
Right. Good point. I think one issue I often hear people say is since 2 days ago, which we probably want to stay away from, right? It's probably more natural there to say for 2 days,
Yeah.
not since 2 days ago. We generally don't want to use since and ago together.
Yeah.
That's a
That
common
is
mistake.
confusing. Yeah.
But just use, if you want to say ago, you probably should be using for. Okay. So not since 10 years ago. We want to say for 10 years. Is that okay? So to make these sentences, we usually start out with just the present tense, right? So something you do normally. So these are all current things I do. I teach English. I live in Japan. I am married and I have a phone right now. I have a smartphone. Is that okay? So Tuan is going to ask me these questions here. So Tuan, what would the first one? How would we make this a question using how long?
So like you said there, these actions are not finished. So we use this this form, and we can say, how long have you, we change the teach to taught. So how long have you taught English? Or we can say, how long have you been teaching English?
Right.
But yeah, we'll just stick with this one.
Okay, so how long have you taught English? So I can say I have taught English for 15 years. Years. Or again, as Tuan just mentioned, I could say I have been teaching English for 15 years. Also okay. Okay, how about this one here? Live in Japan. How would you ask this one?
So same as the top one, we can say, how long have you? And with live, we change to lived. So how long have you lived in Japan?
How long have you lived in Japan? And just for the sake of answering this differently, I will say I have been living in Japan for 15 years. I started teaching English when I got to Japan. Is that okay? Now, in both of these situations, teach and live, like I said, we can use both. I have taught English for 15 years, or I have been teaching English for 15 years. I have been living in Japan for 15 years, or I have been living in Japan, let's change this, since 2006. Is that 15 years? Yeah. Is that okay? So both those are okay. So this one we can use I have taught, or I have been teaching. I have been living, or I have lived, right? So this next one, we actually only have one choice. So we have to be careful with some verbs. And we'll take a look here. With be, have, know, and like, we don't use I have been ing. Is that okay? So let's just go over this one and then we'll talk about a bit more. So how would we ask this question here? Be married.
So we would ask this one as, how long have you been married? We wouldn't say, how long have you been married?
Yeah, we wouldn't say, how long have you been being married?
Yeah,
right.
Being married. Yeah.
Right. So we can't use, whenever we have this be verb, we're not going to use have been ing with it. So my answer is only I have been married for 6 years. I cannot say I have been being married for 6 years, right? Is that okay?
Hmm.
How long have you been married, Tuan?
6 years,
6
maybe.
years?
Maybe 7. I don't know. Okay.
It's got to be, you've been married longer than me.
Maybe 7 then.
Okay, we'll say 7.
Yeah.
And then the next one, have as well. So with these as well, be, have, no, like, we're not going to use the ing. So how would we ask this question, Tuan?
So it will be, the wrong way to ask would be, how long have you been having?
Right, right.
But we would just say, how long have you had your current phone?
Right. How long have you had your current phone? Just like we say, you know, I don't say I am having a pen. Is that okay? We wouldn't say that. So we can't say that, we can't use it as well with this ing here. So my current phone, I believe I have had my current phone for almost 2 years. Hopefully I can have it for 1 more year. I like to keep my phone for about 3 years at least before getting a new one. I wish I could keep it longer. We'll see. How about you? How long have you had your current phone?
I have had my phone for 3 years now.
3 years. So it's
I think
getting
it's, yeah, almost time for a new one.
almost time. I see. Okay. So just to talk about these one more time. So we did be, we did have. So know, right? So to know someone or to know something. So I could ask, for example, Tuan, how long have you known your wife? You've been married for 7 years, we're going to say. How long have you known her?
I have known her for 12 years.
12 years, right, right. Yeah, I have known your wife longer than I have known my wife.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Okay. So in the same way, we wouldn't say, I have been knowing. There's no situation where we can say, I have been knowing. How long have we known each other? Probably about the same, right?
Yeah, I think so. 12 years.
About 12 years, right? Right. We've known each other for about 12 years. Okay. And again, with like, is that okay? So Tuan likes futsal. How long have you liked futsal?
I have liked futsal since I was probably around 18.
18, right, right, right. Is that okay? So again, with these, there are some others, but these are the main ones. Be, have, like, no, we don't want to use with that being ing, not necessary to use there.
I think you had a good point about, yeah, can you say the word with ing? So I am teaching, I am speaking, I am living in Japan. That's quite natural to say. But if it sounds strange, I am liking this, I am knowing this, it sounds very unnatural.
Right, right,
So
right.
we wouldn't use that.
Yeah, and it can be confusing in some languages. Like in Japanese, they do say like the equivalent of I am knowing, right? So maybe in your native language, it might you might be able to say that, but in English, we cannot say I am knowing or I am liking, right? I am having, right? Does not work that way. But generally, I think the idea with this, and this is often, a tricky part, perfect tense is a tricky part of English. But if we say I teach English, right, that's true. And I am teaching English, like you said, Tuan, then we can use both of them, right? We can say I have taught or I have been teaching, right? I live in Japan or I am living in Japan. We can use both. I have lived in Japan for since, or I have been living in Japan for since, right? So yeah, just like Tuan said, if you can use it in the normal BING present continuous form, I am living, I am teaching, then you can use it in both situations. Maybe okay. I think that just about does it for us today. Is there anything to add to this, Tuan?
No, not really. But we do have some other stuff on the the present perfect. It's definitely good to have a look back on some of the other videos. Yeah, it is one that confuses a lot of students. We're just focusing on how long with this one, but it's good to maybe review and have another look at some of the other lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of stuff on perfect tenses, and I think we kind of have to. It's an important part of English. It's a difficult part of English. So if you're struggling with it, if you have any questions about it, please let us know. We're more than happy to help. Please let us know in the comments. And how about to let us know if you made it this far in the video? Answer this question: how long have you been studying English? And we hope that will continue. So again, thanks once again, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.